Well, I think it probably takes me 2 hours to get up in the morning. Um, what else? Basically, when I'm actually doing the getting up, that reminds me of what I need to say. But just sitting here, I can't think of anything because I'm not doing anything. But as soon as I start to do something, that'll remind me. I mean, my stroke in July 2013, my brain was entirely empty, and it was actually a relief. I thought, oh my God, and I used to say it was a holiday because it was such a relief, just having nothing going on. So for 6 months I just well, for 4 months in rehab, I just existed, and they did uh, physiotherapy and things, and voice therapy, speech therapy, and so I just existed in Northwick Park for 3.5 months, and I thought, oh well, it's just a holiday, and then I'll be entirely normal after 6 months. But of course, I wasn't entirely normal, and it was only when I got home and found that, I mean, well, and the kids were 12, 10 and 6, so, and then I was just on my own, for, we were at the end of the cul-de-sac, and I found, Katie would go out and take the kids to school. Well, James would go out at 7:30 and get the train. Alex and Luke would go at 8:30, and as often as not, she'd stay out, and that was it until they came back at 3:30 or 4 or something. So I was just, oh my God, what am I going to do simply from 8:30 till 4 every day? Because I couldn't work. I could basically read a bit, but after 5 pages, my attention tends to wander. So and at the time, because I was depressed, I couldn't listen to music because also I could listen to a record, but if I mean how to fill 8 hours every day. And that's what's interesting now, because now I'm not depressed. I just somehow manage. I mean, every day I say, okay, I do this list every day of what I've got to do that day, and I'll go to the post office and come back, but it just passes because that's what's changed. I don't beat myself up about not doing work. And anyway, I feel now, when I was 16, I basically didn't have a clue about work. And I basically thought just being was fine, and listening to records and watching movies, and now I'm just back at that stage. I mean, why I thought I needed to write screenplays for 20 years, which was so important to me before the stroke. Now it's sort of like, oh, well, it wasn't a very satisfying way to spend my life, and yeah. I mean, I thought I would. The great thing about being a writer was that I could go on writing into my 80s or 90s. And I saw all these people who were screenwriters like Ronald Harwood and Andrew Davis, and they just keep going. And they're 70 or 75 or 80, and they still do a movie or a TV series, and David Hare, Nobody ever says, "Oh, I'm going to retire as a writer," because what would they do, you know? But that was taken away from me, so that took some getting used to. Yes, but also it's kind of coming back because I do the blog. So I write half a paragraph about whatever, and afterwards I don't know what I've written about. I don't understand it, but I'm getting used to it. After 5 years, I basically don't know what it was like before the stroke. So this is the new normal. The strange thing is that I'm happier now than I was pre-stroke. Now, why that is, I don't really know, but I think it's to do with living each day just for the day.